Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mardi Gras 2011 right here on HTV. I'm Hillary Domang along with Ken Jenkins, and it's time for the Krewe of Mardi Gras parade in downtown Houma. Something different for the Krewe of Mardi Gras. They had terrible weather on the night that they were supposed to roll in East Houma on the 5th, so they are riding behind the Krewe of Turanians here on Mardi Gras Sunday, and the reviewing stand's starting to fill up with the Krewe of Mardi Gras folks, and it's going to be another great parade here in downtown Houma.
That's right, Hillary. That's correct. I'll tell you, I'm excited. We just had the Krewe of Turanians. This one's getting started now, and it's going to be an exciting time.
I tell you, these riders that ride in these parades just can't wait for Mardi Gras. They have a blast. And, of course, right in front of us, we mention it all the time when we do these parades, the great sound systems that everybody has. This one included the huge alligator to lead the way.
And this
first
is
float.
This is float number 1.
And sponsored by Navy Enterprise and South Louisiana Bank.
Absolutely. The Grand Marshal of float number 1 is Frank and Mary Claire Davis.
Well, let's see, who's this? No, this is actually, let's see. Let me make sure we got this right. This is the past king and queen on here. Joseph Dutu Jr. and Consuelo Dutu. We confused ourselves there for a second.
That is correct. I stand corrected. Past king and queen. Joseph Dutu, king, and queen Consuelo Dutu.
And they are on that beautiful alligator float. That is tremendous. When you take a look at the float, the detail of this alligator is just tremendous.
Yeah, I can only imagine the man hours that goes into painting and basically carving that together, and the presentation is monumental. I mean, it's really outstanding.
The floats that are riding in these Mardi Gras parades, you could just imagine the time and artistic expertise that goes into putting these floats together.
Oh yes, oh yes. You can only imagine. And then on top of that, they have to be a sustaining structure for all of the riders, so that safety is taken into consideration, and also into constructing these floats.
Now, Cellucre is coming up now. The Sophisticates marching group started by S.P. LaRussa and a few members of Hercules as a way to participate in other parades. And, of course, Cellucre is Hercules spelled backwards with the Y replacing the H. They participate in parades throughout the state and are involved in much charity events throughout this area and all over. Cellucre, the dancing group, and they have a blast at all of these parades.
Yes, they do. These guys, I mean, they really know how to party. They get the party started, they get it going. Also want to point out that it appears that the limousine is provided by Courtesy Limousine Services.
They are having some fun.
Now these guys walk for miles from the beginning of the route all the way to the very end, and they don't stop. They keep going.
They're still bouncing. They still have rhythm.
That's
right. They're going. They are having a blast out here.
They are having a blast. Of course, you can see their signature tuxedo jackets painted along with their umbrellas. The signature look for the Cellucre Sophisticates.
I like the tails, man. I like the tails.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And a great sound system as well that follows them and plays their music throughout the entire ride.
Again, this parade was scheduled to run actually on yesterday, but unfortunately we had inclement weather, and so we decided that that parade would run today, Sunday, March 6th, 2011. Oh, all right. One of the Cellucre guys.
They are still partying after walking all this way from the Southland Mall. They're having a blast.
And there's another one of the buses that you pointed out that allowed them to stop just for a moment and get a break, maybe get a drink of water, because they expend lots of energy as they are out here on this parade route.
Now, float number 2 is approaching. It's sponsored by Roustabouts, Inc., and it is the King and Queen float, the Krewe of Mardi Gras King and Queen. Number 17, Dale Foray and Bernice LaBeouf. Bernice has been married to Tony LaBeouf for 27 years. She's the daughter of Leroy and Brenda Foray. Bernice has 3 children, 1 son, Kent, married to Tiffany, and 2 daughters, Josie and Trista. He has 1 loving grandson, Draven, expecting a second grandchild in July. This will be the 9th year riding with the Krewe of Mardi Gras. She's part of the Rough Rider float. Bernice has also been captain of the float. She's employed with Terrebonne Parish School Board and also vice president of the Ward 7 Citizens Club. She loves Mardi Gras and wishes everyone a happy and safe Mardi Gras season. The king this year is Dale Foray.
That's right there, Hillary, and Mr. Dale Foray is the son of Leroy and Brenda Foray and is married to Becky Foray and has been married for 20 years to Becky. They have 2 beautiful children, Bethany and Heidi Foray. This is Dale's 9th year riding with the Krewe of Mardi Gras, and he also rides with the crew of Bayou Cajuns for 20 years. He always enjoyed Mardi Gras. Dale is employed by Roustabouts Incorporated. He has been with them for 17 years. It is Dale's hopes that everyone enjoys the Mardi Gras and that the Mardi Gras is a safe and happy one.
Now, the royal pages are Trista LaBeouf, the daughter of Queen Bernice and Tony LaBeouf. She has a sister, Josie, and a brother, Kent. She's 14 and attends LaCache Middle School. She's in 8th grade. She's in the Junior Beta Club and the Honor Society, and that's the 2 clubs she's a member of. She's also a volunteer at the Ward 7 Citizen Club and is a member of the Krewe of Bayou Petite Carnival Club. She's a maid this year and hopes to be a queen one year in the future. Heidi Foray is the daughter of King Dale and Becky Foray and has 1 sister, Bethany. She's a granddaughter of Leroy and Brenda Foray, Larry Welch, and the late Bessie Welch. She attends LaCache. She's in 5th grade and is 11 years old. Heidi enjoys hanging out with her friends and texting. That sounds like an 11-year-old girl.
Absolutely.
She also rides for the Krewe of Bayou Petite Caillou and is serving as a maid there this year.
Now, as you can see here, that's a great shot of Parish President Michelle Clodet presenting the keys to the city and to the parish, to the king and the queen. And I believe they'll probably have a toast here just in a moment.
Absolutely. The king, Dale Foray, and his queen, Bernice LaBeouf, 17th Krewe of Mardi Gras. A couple other of the pages. Devin Malbrook, the grandson of Barbara Mabry, has a sister, Alicia Verdun, who's 9 years old in the 4th grade at Lisa Park. Devin enjoys playing video games, playing with his sister, and is a member of the TPR baseball team. And Ethan Foray is the son of John and Deborah Foray. He has a brother, Evan. He's 8 years old in the 3rd grade at Acadian School. Ethan likes video games, music, and playing the drums. That'll keep your parents up late at night.
I bet it does. And they're working on getting that champagne bottle uncorked. And once they do, I'm sure they'll have a little bit of the royal toast with Parish President Michelle Clodet.
Councilman Clayton Voisin also on the reviewing stand here for this parade.
That's right, Clayton Voisin.
The 17th Krewe of Mardi Gras in an unfamiliar position, parading in West Houma. They are the only East Houma route, and unfortunately, on Saturday night when they were supposed to ride during the day, they had some terrible weather and had a lot of power outages along the route. They did not want to take that chance. They had some poles that went down, some lines down, so they erred on the side of caution and decided not to ride, that it was better off to postpone it. So here they are riding on Mardi Gras Sunday here in the west side of Houma, and right now in front of the reviewing stand are the king and queen. They finally have that bottle open, and they are
there we go.
pouring for everybody so that they can do their toast.
All right. That's right. It's shaped up to be a gorgeous day today, this Sunday evening, and I'm pretty sure they're probably happy that they were able to go ahead and ride on today, because yesterday, I tell you, those roads were nasty and it was really wet out there, and as you stated, there were several downed power lines and poles across Grand Caillou Road in particular that I saw firsthand. So, you know, err on the side of caution and get things going today was probably a very good decision.
Well, you know, for the riders and for the parade goers, you know, it's not that much fun when you have the rain and everything else. And some, unfortunately, have to ride in the rain, you know, if it's not too bad. But, you know, it makes for such a better time for everybody involved if you have a clear day like today. It's been absolutely beautiful today on Sunday, the 6th, the Sunday before Mardi Gras, and just cool and beautiful. Thousands and thousands of people out for the parades today. It really has been a great time.
And that was a great shot. They finally got the royal toast completed, and looks like Parish President Michelle Clodet will disembark the float, and they will soon proceed down Main Street in downtown Houma, Louisiana.
It is a fun time for everybody involved. We say it on every one of these parades, but it's the absolute truth, and it bears repeating. This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing for the king and the queen and the royal court, whatever. This is something that they'll remember for the rest of their lives. Very, very few people get a chance to be royalty in a Mardi Gras parade. When you think about it, you know, how many parades do they have here in Houma and around the Bayou region? You know, so what, maybe a total of 20 or so people a year get to be royalty? That's not a lot.
That's not a lot at all. You're right, Hillary. I tell you, it's a huge accomplishment. And also want to point out, this broadcast is brought to you by HTV, False Productions. And we just want to make sure that everyone realizes that this is Sunday, March 6th, 2011. This particular parade was scheduled to run on Saturday, but unfortunately was unable to. So this is March 6th, 2011, directly after the Krewe of Turanians.
And we have more family getting up on the float and a presentation of a bouquet to the Queen. And more photo opportunities. You know, you have to have photo ops. You have to, you know, this is a once-in-a-lifetime deal. You want to make sure it's preserved. You want to make sure you have lots of memories, both, you know, things you can grab onto, special doubloons and everything else, and cups, and also you want as many pictures as you can, because this is something you're going to treasure for the rest of your life. And the king and queen are really enjoying themselves, and that's going to make a very nice picture there. That is the king and queen of the Krewe of Mardi Gras, Dale Foray and Bernice LaBeouf, and they are just soaking this all in, having a great time.
And that was a great photo right there. Also want to go ahead and, again, thank Houma Police Department and the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office. I see some of my friends with the police department out there keeping the road safe. So we want to just say thank you to them.
And you hope they're all your friends. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let me tell you, it is a tremendous undertaking during Mardi Gras season for all of the law enforcement agencies in this area. Not only do they have to worry about the parade route, the parade itself, everything around the parade, but they also have to continue to do their regular jobs and make sure everything else is going according to plan and safe around the entire parish and the region. So that's a tremendous undertaking for all of our law enforcement agencies, and they do a terrific job.
Absolutely. Yes, they do.
Unfortunately, there are always isolated incidents, and if they involve you, you're not too happy, but you know what? That's the way it happens.
And looks like Hillary's friends with the sheriff's department.
Hey, you do what you can. You do what you can. Let me tell you,
thrown up to him.
They really do
by an officer.
They do
right here on the reviewing stand.
Job over here. Let me tell you, that is hard work. Not the greatest pay in the world, and every last one of us should be thankful for these people who protect us on a daily basis.
Certainly so. Certainly so. And that was another great shot, photograph taken by the king and queen.
And they look terrific up there.
Yes, they do.
My artistic side is coming up. The blue background behind them is making a terrific backdrop with the crown on it for all the pictures.
It's a nice touch. It's a very nice touch.
Yeah, you know, I'm in touch with myself, so yeah, it's okay. You know, I can see that's going to make a really nice picture.
And looks like they'll go ahead and clear off a little bit of debris there.
And the throwing floats are awaiting down the street. We can see them lined up down Main Street. More family, more gifts on the King and Queen's float. They're taking care of all the members of the family. Got to make sure you take care of it. You don't forget anybody.
Absolutely.
You make sure beforehand. I don't know how many times you're probably going over a list. Okay, good. Take care of this. Oops, forgot that one. Bring that one in. Whatever. You want to make sure. Like we talk about all the time. This is something for your entire family, your extended family. And you don't want to exclude them from any of this. The parties, the get-togethers, you know, the parades, you want to make sure that they are front and center and enjoying it just as much as you are.
Absolutely, that is so true. And again, like you mentioned earlier, it's not just on parade day. This undertaking actually starts just after Mardi Gras from the previous year with several parties, fundraisers, gatherings. It's a huge undertaking, and when they arrive here on the day that they actually ride that parade in downtown Houma, where in this case it would be on the east side of Houma, Louisiana, they want to make sure that everything is in order and that everyone is looked at and everyone is actually being honored in their family.
Yep, they are having such a great time taking pictures of everything and making sure that they capture all the moments. Here we are in downtown Houma at City Hall at the reviewing stand for the Krewe of Mardi Gras, riding on Sunday following Terranians because of the terrible weather on Saturday the 5th that downed some power lines and had some outages along the parade route, and you know, good job by everybody of postponing that, because you know, even though a lot of the area still had electricity and a lot of people wanted to do the parade, you know, you'd rather be safe. You know, you had a lot of the light poles that were out because of the power or whatever, and you just want to make sure everybody enjoys it. And it wouldn't have been an enjoyable experience for a lot of folks if it would have rolled on this regular night.
I agree with that. I can tell you, yesterday when that weather actually came through, it was almost hurricane-like weather. I mean, it was tumultuous. I mean, it was not good at all. A lot of down power lines, and it just came through in a whirlwind. And there you have it. Great shot there. King and Queen, family members, little ones and all, ready to get it started here.
And we got a lot of floats too. You're talking about 30 floats getting ready to hit us here in just a minute. The third float, which is coming up, is the first flowing float. So 3 through 30 are flowing floats. A lot of beads, a lot of footballs, a lot of everything getting ready to be pelted to everybody here in downtown Houma. And more gifts from the king. He's looking to see who he missed. He's still got bags. He's pulling out bags. This is for this, this is for that. It's like Christmas.
Yes, it is. It's just like Christmas, handing out gifts to family members and friends. And it even looks like, man, he's a little getting a little hot up there, man, on this cool afternoon. So I tell you, he's working hard.
Yeah, it is a lot involved here, and they just look like they're having a blast. And of course, they're in the home stretch of the parade, but still having a terrific time. And they looks like the pages are back up where they need to be, up on the float, and getting ready to make sure that you know, they're strapped in and ready to start rolling again. The king and queen of the Krewe of Mardi Gras ride number 17, Dale Foray and Bernice LeBuff, the king and queen of the Krewe of Mardi Gras. And boy, if we can get a shot down the road And when you just look, it is absolutely incredible. Floats backed up one after the other all the way down, and still the thousands of people, because usually they're just out here on a Sunday. They catch the one parade and they're done, even though they did have a crew that ran for a couple of years behind them. But boy, these folks look down the line, and still thousands of people here. See the balcony in the background, and you see all the floats just lined up, ready to go for their run downtown here. And again, floats 3 through 30 are throwing floats. So we're getting ready to see 28 throwing floats here for the Krewe of Mardi Gras.
Absolutely, and the excitement is it's just going to go through the roof here in a moment. I tell you that everybody down here, the thousands of people you just mentioned, are going to go crazy when these floats start to barrel through Main Street in downtown Houma. It is going to be miraculous.
And everybody's getting ready. Now the maids are there. They're getting ready to get all strapped in to make sure that everything is good. Want to make sure the kids are safe on the float before they take off. I think Dale Forey's checking to make sure he didn't miss anybody. Let's see, I got anything else down here or whatever?
And there they go, the king and queen passing through. Again, that's Mr. Dale Forey, king, and Mrs. Bernice LaBeouf, queen.
They had a great time up here at the reviewing stand with all their family and friends.
And here we go.
The C107.5 van cranking up some country music as they roll by. Float number 3 sponsored by Jackie's Dirt and Limestone. Becky Forey is the float captain. She's the wife of the king, sister-in-law of the queen. And riding along the float are the parents of the king and queen, Leroy and Brenda Forey. Dale Forey's daughter also rides on the float, 9 years riding, and they are known as the Rough Riders. They love Mardi Gras. They say it's the best time of the year. They are throwing away.
Yes, they are. And as you can see, right on the front of the parade, of the actual float, is a giant jawbreaker.
Don't want to bite into that one.
And when I mean giant, it's giant. Looks like a horse with a wagon trail.
Yeah, not a covered wagon. It would be a covered wagon if they had a cover on it. But they're having a great time.
Yes, they are. They're having
the parade
a great
route.
time.
That's pretty neat.
Good look of 2 beautiful horses there. And float number 4 approaching. Float captain is Garnett Glenn. Tufu Crew. Tore up from the floor up. Sponsored by the past king and queen, Joseph and Consuela Dutu. 21 float riders in total. They are a co-ed float consisted of family and friends, in and out of town members. They like to party, dance, and have a good time. They would like to wish everyone a happy and safe Mardi Gras.
Float number 4, the Krewe of Mardi Gras. They having fun, dancing and partying. Float number 5 coming up is sponsored by Curtis Calais Welding. Helen White is the float captain. Anything Goes is this co-ed float consisting of family and friends, all together with 19 riders. Helen is her 16th year of the member of the Krewe of Mardi Gras. Her 6th term as club secretary, and she was queen number 15. The co-captain is her husband, Johnny White, who's a 15-year member, a past captain, and reigned as King 15. This float has a reputation of being heavy throwers. They're doing it.
Oh, yeah. All right, and on the approach is float number 6. Float captain is Sam Stufle. Patala gang, not all there. Sam has been a member for 6 years. His wife is Nicole, and she has served as co-captain for 3 years. The sponsor is New Era Tattoos and Piercings. They said that their float consists of family and friends and co-workers. They enjoy riding and having fun with the Krewe of Mardi Gras. They're looking forward to many more years. Sam would like to thank the crew for their prayers, support, and understanding during the time of his medical issues battling cancer through the years.
And a dance group, some Zumba fitness. All I can tell you is if I tried that, they'd have to put me in traction.
Say that again?
I said if I tried that, they'd have to put me in traction.
Well, I tell you, they have some speakers for their music. I mean, it is loud.
That's our king and queen show. Kings and queens, give it up. I can't hear y'all, give it up. Kings and queens. Happy Mardi Gras to you. Happy Mardi Gras.
Float number 7 is approaching us now. The float captain is Margaret Dufran. The riders include family, friends, and employees of Bayou Machine Shop, owned by Chet and Margaret Dufran. This is their 10th year, and they'd like to thank the officers and hard workers for making the parade a huge success and wish everyone a safe and happy Mardi Gras. Float number 7. And let's see, is that a guy that serves us beignets? Is that him? Must be. I'll take an order about right now, beignets.
Oh, all day long. And it looks like float number 7 is sponsored by Bayou Machine Shop.
That's a great shot, great color of these floats. As we said, they are meticulously designed. They look great.
It's a nice looking float right there. It's starting to have the sun go down and night is falling, and you can see the lights and colorful attraction of the actual floats, which is a really nice set.
Float number 8 is sponsored by Mr. Po' Boy. Carissa Lorget is the float captain. Run Amuck is sponsored by Mr. Po' Boy. It's been voted the best po' boy shop 2 years in a row. Come try their loaded baked potatoes. You tried the rest, try the best. Grand Caillou Road.
I'll tell you, those po' boys are outstanding at Mr. Po' Boy.
Yes, they are. They are very good. Woo! Float number 9 coming up now. The float captain, Carmen Bonvillain. The Family Express is their name. They've been rolling for 5 years. They have 18 members consisting of mainly family. The co-captain is Sandy Bonvillain, who's also the secretary treasurer, and they participate in numerous fundraisers and family activities throughout the year. Their sponsors are Dolis Electric, The Bar, and MT Automotive.
And again, we have the sheriff's officers and HPD down, making sure that they keep the streets safe.
And again, we were speaking about them earlier. They do a terrific job of making sure everything is okay.
Absolutely, absolutely.
There you see a float number 9 with 3 musketeers on the front.
That's right, Hillary, float number 9. The float captain is Carmen Bonvillain. And again, the title is the Family Express.
Yeah, really good looking floats here as they just are supremely decorated, and they're having a great time. The Krewe of Mardi Gras here on Sunday, the 5th of March. There you see down the street, as that is float number 9, float 10 right behind it. Lots of folks having a great time here as they are enjoying themselves in downtown Houma. You see a good shot from the City Hall side of those guys with a little delay in the action here. As we're going to go ahead and keep it there on the shot of float number 9. They are ready to roll. 30 floats overall here in the Krewe of Mardi Gras. Another dance team is going to be coming up following float number 9. Again, in case you're just joining us, you just missed the king and queen of the Krewe of Mardi Gras, the 17th king and queen, Dale Foray and Bernice LaBeouf, were just here at City Hall and saluting and honoring all of their family and friends here, and it was a really great time here at City Hall. As you know, it's a once-in-a-lifetime deal, as we were talking about, Ken, when you are royalty, and they took advantage of all of it, making sure that they took care of their family and friends here.
Absolutely, and as you mentioned earlier, Hillary, 31 floats in total in this particular parade, and we are just on float number 9, so many more floats to roll through and throw beads and doubloons, footballs, everything else you can imagine, basketballs.
Well, and all of these floats too, all of the floats, and each parade usually has individual signature throws that they throw too, special doubloons or beads or whatever that set them apart from everybody else. Because a lot of folks, you know, you see the footballs and the long beads and stuffed animals or whatever, but usually each crew has a little something special to distinguish themselves from the other throws.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I've noticed we haven't mentioned cups.
Yeah.
Cups are a huge throw. Year after year, I know they're a collector's item. Many people that attend the parades try to collect the cups, as they usually mark the year and the name of the crew, and they keep them year after year as collector's items.
City and Terrebonne Parish Police are handling the situation here at City Hall right now. That is the delay, and everybody here getting to witness the fine job that these folks do, and
absolutely
trying to keep everything safe here for Mardi Gras season. So thanks so much to them. This is the 17th Krewe of Mardi Gras Parade, riding on Sunday, March 6th, because of some terrible weather that ran through yesterday. And they are riding now on a Sunday behind the crew of Turanians in the west side of Houma. Normally they ride on the east side, but they are going to take care of their riders and make sure that everything is okay and ready to roll. And they did a great job of that in transitioning from the Saturday to the Sunday and making sure everything is okay. So yes, thanks so much to our officers here for taking care of the problem here downtown. And now we are getting ready to roll again here with the crew of Mardi Gras. Again, float number 9, the Family Express, with 18 members riding, mostly family. Carmen Bonvillain, the captain. Sandy Bonvillain is the co-captain.
And it looks like the celebration dance, New Orleans dancers are in the parade here. Great shot of them as they come down Main Street in downtown Houma, Louisiana.
With a huge stereo system on a truck behind them so they can dance to their own music.
And there they go.
And following the dance team is float number 10. Float captain is Tracy Learet. Tracy's captain of the Bayou Riders. Is an 11-year member. Her co-captain is Christine Constant, a 4-year member. Both of these ladies ride with their husbands, Nikki Learet and Danny Constant. Danny and Christine were king and queen of the crew of Mardi Gras in the 14th parade. They have 19 members. 12 of those members are from the Bayou du Large community. The float sponsored by the past king and queen, Danny and Christine Constant.
And directly following float 10 is float number 11. The float captain is Dana Oten. Title of the float is Bottoms Up. The float is sponsored by NUTS. The co-captain is Jamie Danos. They have 26 riders, both male and female. This includes the 2005 King and Queen, Richard and Laura Oten.
Float number 12, the float captain is Marlene Jewell. The Big Dogs is their name. They're sponsored by Jewel's Handbags and Accessories. Marlene is the president of the crew of Mardi Gras, has been a member for 6 years. In those years, she served as treasurer for 3 years. Her co-captain is Jody Billiot. It's a co-ed float with 22 riders, a family, old friends, and lots of new friends.
And that's also a very nice looking float as well.
We're here in downtown Houma. This is the crew of Mardi Gras, their 17th ride in Houma. This one on the west side of town after a weather delay caused them to push it back a day. Great crowd still here in downtown Houma. And of course, since it was postponed, it rolled after the crew of Turanian. So these people have been here for hours and hours and still enjoying themselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. They have stayed and they are here because it's a wonderful day. The weather is perfect. It's a little on the cooler side, but you kind of want it cooler rather than being hot when you're outside enjoying a parade like this. And it's actually turning into a night parade as night is falling now.
Absolutely.
And it's getting later in the evening, but again, like you said, it hasn't deterred any of the parade goers here, as they have all remained, and we have thousands of people here in downtown Houma, Louisiana, enjoying the festivities of Mardi Gras.
Great shot there, one of the dance groups performing here at City Hall in front of the reviewing stand, the Girls with Attitude dance team. Great dancing, and thank goodness for them. They're moving all the time, so they're ignoring the cool weather.
Absolutely, yeah, because they're in shorts and T-shirts, and I can tell you it's getting cool, and it's a good thing that they're moving around. Great choreography, though, showing a high level of skill as they dance down the streets of Main Street here in Houma, Louisiana.
Girls with Attitude dance team. And coming up the road there, as you can see coming down, float number 13, the float captain is Patricia Pierce. The Bayou Black Ladies is sponsored by Gas Measurements, located on St. Louis Canal Road, owned by Bruce Aguilar. The co-captain is Rhonda Malbrew. Their float consists of mothers, daughters, and grandmothers that have been riding for 13 years. They love to meet, give secret sister gifts, travel, and party together. That's a great deal. That really is.
That is.
Mothers, daughters, and grandmothers on the same float.
Absolutely. 13 years in the making. Looks like a Viking on the front of that one.
It looks like the, the Viking, the guy that is on the sideline for the Minnesota Viking games. Looks just like it.
And they are launching beads at the reviewing stand here.
They are having some fun.
Breaking out the footballs, the pearls.
They are having a blast.
Yes, they are.
They are nonstop. They are just dumping on the reviewing stand here.
And next float up is float number 14, sponsored by Savan Mini Storage. Float number 14's captain is Clifton Pierce. This is the Bayou Black men's float and has been with the Krewe of Mardi Gras since 1995. Clifton Pierce is a charter member and also the vice president of the club. There are 30 men that ride this float and love to party. The float sponsor is Savan Mini Storage again. SP LaRussa, the parade captain and one of the founders of the East Houma Carnival Club, with the intentions of forming a male-female club to parade on the east side of Houma, also rides on this particular float. Now this is a high excitement float right here. Oh man.
They're trying to get me. I just don't want to stick my neck out too far.
Oh, don't do it.
They are having a great time. Woo! The Bayou Black men's float. They are having a blast.
I tell you, they're bombing us. Wow. And approaching is float number 15. Float 15 The captain is Rose Toot Scott. Tootsie Roll is sponsored by Menard Financial Group. The co-captain is Chloe Cayuet. There are 24 riders, which are just a bunch of friends having a great time together. And they truly are having a great time together. All right.
They are having a terrific time.
Yes, they are.
The Bayou Band is riding now, passing by us, playing some good music.
And here we have float number 16, the float captains, Dawn Terrio. The Nuts are rolling for their 5th year. They love riding, partying, and having a good time. Their DJ is Dewey Marks. The Nuts is sponsored by Daiquiris and Company on Grand Caillou Road. The captain is Dawn Terrio and co-captain is Jennifer Petrie. They would like to wish everyone a safe and happy Mardi Gras.
They are having some fun.
Yes, yes, yes.
Float number 17 is coming up now. The float captain is Tessie Myers. Born to Be Wild is the group. They've been with the Krewe of Mardi Gras for 10 years now. They're sponsored by S&T Discount Mark. The float is made up of good friends and family, and the crew enjoys getting together and passing a good time with their music. And it's being done by DJ Stump for the past 4 years now, and they enjoy entertaining the public. Float number 18, sponsored by Captain Allen's Bait and Tackle. Doreen Foray is the float captain. The Honey Hopper Riders are from Houma and Chauvin. They love Mardi Gras. The co-ed members on the float. Doreen Foray has been a member for 7 years, and the co-captain is Christy Thibodeau. The co-captain for this next float, float number 19, Big Daddy's Pub is the sponsor, Sean Couillon Shaver. The Cajun Couillon sponsored by Big Daddy's on Lafayette Street. The co-captain is Sean's White Penny Shaver. 25 people made up of a bunch of close family, friends, DJ and bar owners. It's always a recipe for a good time.
All right.
They're DJing their own float. They're having fun.
All right. Coming up next, we have float number 20.
It's sponsored by Baba's Lounge.
Float
That's
number
actually
20?
Bebe.
Is it Bebe?
I think it's Bebe.
Well, float number 20's captain is Darlene Bergeron. La Bon Ton Roulette float is sponsored by Terry Verrett of Bebe's Lounge or Baba's Lounge on New Orleans Boulevard. It is a co-ed float with 33 riders. Wow.
They are having some fun. Float number 21 coming up. Crazy Cajuns is the sponsor. Christine Foray is the float captain. Is sponsored, the co-captain is Corey Foray. They've been riding for 7 years. Float number 21, Crazy Cajuns.
Great shot of that float right there.
They are having some fun.
Oh, yeah. There it is. Passing in front of the reviewing stand. Great shot.
Someone got whacked. Give that man a football helmet.
And here we have float number 22 sponsored by Triple T's Lounge. Float captain is Becky Tink Mathern. Troublemakers float is sponsored by Triple T's Biker. Owned and operated by Bubba Smith. The co-captain is Cindy Pellegrin. There are 19 riders on this float.
They are having a blast. Float 23 following them right up. Captain Allen's Bait and Tackle sponsoring this float as well. April Dupre is the captain of Cajun Insanity. They have 20 co-ed riders consisting of family and friends. They've been with the club for 3 years, and this is April's first year as a captain. They are having a great time. Float 24 coming up, sponsored by LaRussa's Lounge. Deanna Parfait is the float captain. Of course, sponsored by LaRussa's on Park Avenue, just on the other side of the Twin Span. It's owned and operated by Tubby and Evelyn Otan. Evelyn is the co-captain, and they have 24 riders. The music provided by Kenny Gautreaux.
All right, great shot. All right, and float number 25 is on the approach. The float captain is Johnny Duplantis. Captain Preston Billiot and co-captain Jody Billiot have been with the Krewe of Mardi Gras for 4 years. This float is sponsored by the Merlin Group Limited. They are friends and family. The two partners float would like to thank everybody for coming out. Cheers for HTV as they pass by.
Float number 26 coming up is sponsored by Carolyn's Lounge. Casey Johansson. Akin Defu, sponsored by Carolyn's Lounge. They have 25 co-ed riders. The co-captain is Kyle Johansson. Float number 26. They are having a blast. This is fun laughing with them because they have been enjoying the heck out of themselves.
Oh, yeah. Float number 27 on the approach. The float captain is Christine Tharp. Kristen has been riding for the past 9 years. The float is sponsored by Dale Angel for the party people.
Float number 27, the Krewe of Mardi Gras. They are having some fun.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Float 28 is sponsored by Navy Enterprises. Marcy Commodore is the float captain. The Night Riders is sponsored by Navy Enterprises. The co-captain is Kelly Lagarde.
Oh, man, that was exciting.
And that is it for the 17th Krewe of Mardi Gras Parade. This one in West Houma, passing right here in downtown Houma from our vantage point here in front of City Hall. Hillary Domain, Ken Jenkins, thanks so much for joining us. We've had a great time. Congratulations again to the royalty, and that is King Dale Foray and Queen Bernice LaBeouf. And you see all these beads are right in front of us. See, I'm actually right here. I was hiding behind the beads. You know, they're looking right in front of us.
Oh,
we
yeah.
had a great time here. They threw like crazy, and they had a blast. It's so much fun to watch them, as we talked about, how much fun they have, and it is contagious.
Oh, yes, it is, absolutely. And it's a great event. Mardi Gras in Houma, Louisiana is an outstanding time, and we just want to thank everybody for coming out, and we also want to just thank all of the crew. We want to thank all of the police officers and all of the emergency personnel for making this night a successful night.
Thanks to all the sponsors. Thanks so much to the HTV crew for a job well done. And continue watching HTV for coverage of the tableaus and the parades for all of the crews. For Ken, I'm Hillary and the entire HTV gang. Everybody have a great evening. You've been watching the Krewe of Mardi Gras, their 17th ride from right here in downtown Houma. For all of the HTV group, hope you've enjoyed your Mardi Gras season. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.